Hey, I'm Matt with Meat Church here in my outdoor kitchen. I'm with my good buddy Dayne Weaver, and we're gonna make Dayne's OG burger. Well, I'm really excited today. We're finally back to our Guest Pitmaster series. It's been a long time, and you guys are always in the comments saying we need more of these videos. Got one of my best friends in the world, returning guest, Dayne Weaver, Dayne's Craft Barbecue in Aledo. Needs no introduction. He's obviously the best dressed man in barbecue.
Thank
with
you.
This amazing Meat Church summer collection hat paired with the poncho. I mean, I'm just here in a t-shirt.
Doesn't get any better than that. I think we're ready to cook some burgers because it's summertime.
I'm excited about this. So if you've never had his burger, this was a burger that you would go to his barbecue joint and you could only get it when it was on special. And we didn't rehearse this. I just know that I would watch, he'd go to these burger competition in Fort Worth and beat every chef every time. I think he's like 1,000. So then he started to like have this on his menu full time.
Yeah.
And so we're like, hey, you need to do another video. What do you want to do? I was shocked he was gonna, show you guys his secrets to this amazing burger.
Yeah.
And I love it. So without further ado, please tell us what we're gonna do today.
Yeah, well, the secret is just keeping it simple, right? I think people got a little too complicated with burgers, and so what we've done at the restaurant is try to simplify it a little bit, where we grind the meat in-house, and that just really gives you the best product. So keeping it simple and doing things the right way is the way to go.
Amazing to have a Texas Monthly Top 50 barbecue joint guy here that can also crush a burger. So, all right, we're ready to jump in. I'm gonna grab your supplies here. I'm your beautiful assistant. These are my favorite videos, by the way, because I don't have to do anything but talk and eat.
Yeah, so we started making these because beef got really, really expensive, and we had all this brisket trim at the restaurant left. And you got to do something with it, right? So
show this beautiful trim to the folks at home here.
So yeah, this is basically just brisket trim. So anything that's coming off that brisket you can use for burgers. We added a little more beef fat to it. So a lot of people ask me, what's the fat to meat ratio on these? And I always tell them it's probably a little closer to 65-35. And that's kind of the key, is because if you add a little extra fat in there, you can get a great sear on these burgers, and then they stay juicy regardless if you cook them medium or medium well done. They're gonna stay juicy no matter what. So
perfect.
So let's get to grinding. I'm gonna flip this thing on here. So yeah, there we go.
I did do something.
All right. So we're gonna start grinding this away.
Oh yeah, it looks beautiful. Look at that. I always tell people, people at home that are doing briskets, I do what I call pretty aggressive trim for a backyard cook, because it's what guys like you do in the restaurant to, deliver the best product. And I'm like, don't worry about trimming this out, because we can all use ground meat. Here you go, burger, spaghetti, sausage. And by the way, if you've never checked out our Holy Voodoo sausage recipe that we did together, how many views is that at now?
It's over 1 million, I know that.
That's a banger, as the kids say at home.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, using all that brisket trim is the name of the game in barbecue, because, I mean, we have to trim these things up in a way that makes them cook up good. So if you don't do something with your trim, you're really just wasting a lot. So this was our solution for it. Let's make a great burger and see if we can get
real quick.
Everybody to be eating these all the time. So we're gonna throw all this in. All right, a little extra fat in there at the end. Yeah, and this is the key. That fat is really what helps when you go to smash these things down on the flat top, and it's gonna instantly kind of sear and render all that fat.
So in this recipes always below in the description about how much meat was this.
So this was 2.5 pounds of brisket trim, and then we took a 1/2 pound of the pure decal fat, and then we kind of added that into the mix. So,
and this will make how many burgers?
So this will make 6 burgers. Okay. So 6 double patty burgers.
Okay, awesome. I'll say that's 6 big burgers.
Yeah. It's gonna feed your whole family. Let's go ahead and get this grinder out of the way, all right?
All right, what's next?
So having an egg involved in this is a good thing we've found. So we're gonna crack 1 egg into this, and then we're gonna mix it all, because that's gonna give us a really good bind. And I think it actually does a little bit with the flavor and also like moisture retention in that burger.
My mom always cracked eggs in our grind as well, so
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, you don't wanna do too many, but 1 egg for this 3 pounds of meat is perfect. So let's crack 1 in here.
You're gonna get dirty.
And then, yeah, and we're just gonna mix this all up. So, yeah, we washed our hands real good. So,
Allegedly.
So yeah, we're just gonna kind of mix this up really good. We wanna kind of mix this like we would sausage. So this is gonna give us that, you know, just kind of sausage consistency after we kind of work this into
It's gonna be very satisfying.
Yeah,
as my kids
for
would
sure.
say.
Yeah, it's like playing with Play-Doh when you were a kid, you know? It's fun
Adult
stuff.
Play-Doh.
Yeah, but mixing it properly is definitely the key, because if you don't mix it good enough, it's gonna start to crumble when you start to smash it on the flat
get that
top.
fat all in there.
Yeah, so you've got to mix it good. You got to get that bind going, or else, yeah, you're gonna have some trouble when you try to smash this down on the flat top. It'll start to crumble up on you a little bit. Yeah.
Cool.
So working this, I would say maybe about a minute. Give it about a minute. Just kind of, you know, work it like you would some dough if you were making bread or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're just kind of folding it and just kind of working it through in your hands.
So while he's mixing this up, we've got a lot of great guest pitmaster videos on the channel. We went down to Truth Barbecue with Leonard, and he showed all brisket secrets. Obviously, we've done sausage, we mentioned. We've done beef ribs with Goldie's. We did a video with Travis Heim, the very first ever bacon burnt in video, which was super cool.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a few out there. You guys definitely have to check that out. And this has to make me wonder, do you ever wish you didn't do barbecue? You just perfected hamburgers so you didn't have to like make a 24-hour product?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely have been thinking about maybe a burger concept. Yeah, but we got our hands full with barbecue right now, so we'll see if we can get into it. But
you're pretty good at that.
But yeah, burgers are a little more simple than cooking barbecue. You don't have to spend 12 hours slaving over the smoker, you know, so.
Every time people say, I want to open a restaurant, I'm like, don't do it.
Well, I think this is getting real close here. And then after we get this mixed, we're gonna start patting it up. I like to do 100-gram balls here. So
I like the metric system.
So
we're just gonna eyeball it today, right? No, we don't have
we'll just kind of
scale.
eyeball it. It's kind of a little smaller than a racquetball, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna just kind of ball them into balls like that.
Beautiful.
All right. So I'm gonna start balling up the rest of these burgers, and then we'll get ready to smashing these and making some awesome burgers.
All right. All right. We've got all of the balls made.
Yeah.
Beautiful balls, beautiful pink balls. Now let's talk about these fancy brioche buns and your butter.
So yeah, one of the keys to a great burger is having a great bun, right? I mean, that's one of the key components. So we like to use brioche with the sesame seeds on top. So you can find these at your local grocery store. I think I've found them at several different stores. So go in there, see if you can find something like this. That's perfect for these burgers. But the first thing we need to do is get these toasted up. So we've got some butter that's melting over here, and we're actually gonna crush some garlic in there because it just adds that other layer of flavor to it. So yeah, but perfectly toasting the buns is key to having that good burger. So I'm gonna get over here, crush this garlic.
I've got a Traeger flat rock set up. We're gonna see what the temperature's like over here so that we can toast these.
And we're gonna let this garlic just kind of simmer down in this butter here.
We've melted like a stick of butter, so a couple cloves.
Yep.
Yep.
And we're gonna let that go for a little bit, and then we're gonna start toasting these buns.
We're gonna get a suntan off this griddle. It is ripping.
There we go. All right, so we've let this butter melt down, crushed some garlic in there.
Smells
it's all
good.
infusing into that butter. So that's the key to adding those other layers of flavor. So now we got this flat top on kind of a low medium heat, because we want to get just kind of a nice toast on these buns. So let's get going. We're gonna just kind of dump a little bit of this butter on here.
It smells amazing.
Right. And then we're gonna throw this down, all right?
God, I smell that.
Yeah, you can smell all that butter right off the bat.
Smell the garlic.
You know? So yeah, just kind of So I like to just pour a little bit and then kind of sop it up with those buns and kind of move them around and kind of get that going. So we're gonna let these just kind of hang out here until they get a nice toast on them.
Do you let them completely cool off when you're done before you put the burger on it? I guess so.
Yes, so that's one of the problems. If you take a hot bun and you put rip-roaring hot beef and cheese on it, it's gonna just kind of smush that whole burger. So we like to toast these in advance so that you can get a good toast on them and it holds its integrity.
Yeah.
You can support all that meat we're about to throw on it. So
cool.
All right, so yeah, here pretty soon into it, you can start kind of taking a little peek, just kind of see how they're doing, make sure that the temperature's just right. Oh yeah, that's getting like it's beautiful toast right there. Yeah.
Nailed it.
So there we go. Yeah, so you see that toast on there?
You've done this.
I've done it a few times. Actually, I actually kept count. I cooked the first 6,000 burgers that we sold out of the food trailer. So
wait, what?
We started cooking them 4 years ago, and so yeah, I cooked the first 6,000 of them. Jeez. And yeah, hot summers in Texas in a food trailer. It's a lot. But let's pull these off because they got a perfect toast on it right now. So I'm gonna throw these here. So yeah, if you see that, you want to get that nice little crust on there, and so all that garlic, so you can kind of hear.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Crusty.
So yeah, having that kind of crust on there really helps. So, and I like to just kind of keep these separate because if you put them together, they'll kind of steam and they'll kind of overcook. So you want to get that toast on them quick and swiftly because otherwise, you know, they'll just kind of overcook that bun. So
awesome. All right, now we got to get our patties.
So we're gonna crank this thing up. The key to having a great burger is getting that flat top just almost as hot as you can get it because we want to develop that crust on there. So I love
a great crust on a burger.
We're gonna crank this thing all the way up to 11.
All right.
All right.
Well, we got the flat rock ripping. The smoke.
Yeah. So you want to get this thing hot. You want to see that smoke going. We want this to get a great sear, so that high heat is what we need. So we're gonna take one of these, we're gonna throw it right down, and we're gonna smash this down. I like to use a little wax paper or parchment paper to make sure it doesn't stick. So yeah, we're gonna throw these down here.
And each of your burgers is a double.
Yes, yep, so double patty. Yeah, something about layering those flavors in there is just really where it's at. But yeah, you really wanna press that down and kind of hold that pressure on there. You can just smell it right off the bat. You can smell all that beef just searing up. So then we're gonna do this other one here. Yeah, just holding that pressure and letting that sear develop is really what you need to do.
It smells awesome.
And so at the restaurant we use salt and pepper, but it's only because I don't have a whole bucket of this Blanco seasoning at the restaurant. Maybe I could get a hookup on that, you know?
Yeah, would you like a whole bucket?
For sure. Yeah, if we had it at the restaurant, we'd definitely be using this, but we do salt and pepper at the restaurant, but this is that salt and pepper substitute.
So I tell people about Blanco on burgers. You know, I don't get compliments from my kids on food, but when my daughter turned 13, we did Blanco burgers and French fries, and all the girls were like, "Dad, you know, what'd you put on this?" So yeah, it's a winner.
Yeah. So if you can see, that's just like searing real nice. We're just gonna let that develop. Actually, one of the things you wanna do with these, a lot of people think you need to cook a burger equally on both sides, but what we do is we cook it almost 85 to 90% on one side.
Yeah.
And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it, we're gonna cheese it, and then we're gonna melt that cheese and then bring it off, all right? So
it's gonna have super crust on one side.
Yeah. So I can see that that's developing real great already. So we're gonna flip that over.
Ooh, look at that.
You can see that great crust going on. And we're gonna just kind of slide under that. So yeah, you can see, yeah, you really wanna get that crust built up. And then right when you do
You're going 2 types of cheese.
Yeah, so we've got white American cheese and yellow American cheese. I think it just gives you a little bit of unique flavor and kind of switches it up. I always like to stack these things to where they're kind of a little offset on there. All right, and then we're gonna melt this. So if you got some kind of cheese melter, this is just gonna steam the cheese and it's gonna make it just beautiful. Yeah, you don't want a burger with unmelted cheese. Yeah, nobody wants that. So yeah, you can start to see it. It starts to get this glassy look. When it starts to get shiny, you know that cheese is melted real good.
Okay.
So you can just pull these right off.
You going right on the bun?
Throw it right on the bun. All right.
Baby.
And then,
You wanna make another one?
yeah, let's make another
I gotta
one.
have one.
So
I mean,
sometimes you want to do these. You don't want to do too many at once because they cook up really fast.
Yeah.
And if you do too many at once, you're gonna not pay the proper attention to
yeah,
them.
I agree with that.
You're gonna really start to
Let it get away from you.
Yeah, you're gonna be managing too many things, and the next thing you know, you're not gonna be doing this in the right order. So
All right,
let's
we'll
throw a
make
couple
one more and
down
then
here.
head over to the block and talk about them.
Yeah. So yeah, just holding that pressure down. I'd say a good 10 seconds. 10 seconds of good solid pressure on there. And yeah, this wax paper just kind of helps it from not sticking too bad.
So it's gifted, this press. It's mill scale, Iron Grove, hand forged, and dripping springs. I love that thing.
I love it, yeah. I need to get me one of these
I
at the
also carry it in
restaurant.
my car to as a weapon.
Yeah.
Knock some people out.
All right, so yeah, that's good. And we're just gonna let that flavor develop. We're gonna hit it with some more Blanco, right? So yeah, you wanna smash those out flat, and keep in mind, they're gonna shrink up, you know?
Yeah,
So
I noticed
you really wanna press it out wide, a lot wider than that bun's gonna end up being, so, because they'll shrink up. So we're gonna hit it with the Blanco on there.
Strong seasoning game, perfect application. You can see it's like there's hardly any pink left.
Yeah, you can see this spot's cooking a little hotter, so we'll go ahead and flip this one first. I bet this has got a great sear on it right there. We're gonna let this one go a little bit longer. All right. Make sure you get under it here. Woo. All right, so yeah, you can see we got that great sear going on there. So yeah, we put enough fat in these that they are not gonna dry out. I mean, they're gonna just have that amazing flavor.
Keep saying how good this stuff smells, but this is unreal.
Yeah. So yeah, we want to set it on there, and then we're gonna stack it, and then we're gonna cover it and melt that cheese.
Perfect.
All right.
Baby.
All right. Yep. Right when you start to see it looking real glassy right there, when it starts to shine, you want to pull it off, throw it on here. All right.
Nailed it.
So now all we got to do is top it with a great sauce. I mean, so the key to a burger is grinding that meat in-house. We used all brisket, so it's gonna be amazing. So we wanna have a great sauce. So we made this at the restaurant. This is our secret sauce. It's called our Lovin' sauce. So it's kind of a mixture of all of our favorite condiments. So it is proprietary.
Proprietary blend of your favorite condiments.
Yeah. We're not gonna give away quite the secret to that because we use it at the restaurant, and it's one of the most sought after burgers in
Put your
Texas.
favorite condiments on this.
Yeah, just whatever condiment you want, or mix it. But so yeah, we like to just kind of do a good little zigzag here, get some good flavor on there. And then we're gonna top it with just some thinly sliced red onion, okay? That gives it some crunch, a little acidity in there. And yeah, that's exactly what we're going for right there. And then we're gonna just top it with those perfectly toasted buns right there.
Let's head over to the butcher block and talk about these, and more importantly, let's eat them. Okay, well, I can't wait much longer, but something just occurred to me. I figured out how to get Dayne Weaver in my backyard to make me lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. All you needed to do is say, hey, come make some burgers, and that's all it took.
All right, well, let's jump in. Come on, I can't wait. Oh, my Lord.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna cheers that. I need a minute here. All right, mad at it. Good God. You seriously can taste the crust.
Yeah.
First off, you know what's crazy about this to me? That's pretty simple, yet insanely delicious. One of, if not the best burgers I've ever had.
Yeah, it's crazy how many customers tell us that. The reviews, everybody's best burger I've had in my life. And I'm always a little surprised because it's so simple. You know, you'd think to make it the best burger, you'd need all these different things, but we keep it simple, and I think that's what people really want.
The crust on the burger, obviously brisket, the meat's great. Perfectly toasted bun. I always put red onion on mine. You can never have enough cheese, so 2 types of cheese. The sauce is amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, I love this. This is on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it 1,000.
Beautiful.
Oh. Next time though, we're gonna have your wife here. She's the real star. We did a video at Lone Star Smokehouse. She killed it. You're like, no, I want to be here.
She's the best.
Well, dude, thank you for being here. Tell everybody where you're at in Aledo.
So we're just right west of Fort Worth. So 10 minutes west of Fort Worth. Doesn't take long. Anywhere you are in DFW, you can get out to see us. So y'all come have one of these burgers. We're making awesome barbecue. And yeah, we're doing it Wednesday through Sunday. So
Man, I'll tell you what I've said forever about Dayne's Craft Barbecue. There's never a bite that's wrong. It's that simple. Never had better. So, dude, so proud of everything you've done. Thank you for coming out here. This has been awesome. And you're fit. Like, man, next time I'll come dressed nicer.
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Be sure to check out the Guest Pitmaster series for all of my buddies that are in doing these videos with us, and like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.